This is going to be a completely supine, meaning lying on our back workout for symptomatic days. I'm feeling symptomatic today. I feel like reducing the amount of upright movement that I'm doing with lifting. So I'm gonna go down on my mat, and I have a little assistant with me today. But we're gonna start out with a chest press. So I've got 12 pounds here, and I'm gonna come down onto my back. Again, depending on you, it may feel okay for you to go backwards that way. You may want to lie down on your side first and then roll over. And then you kind of have to jimmy your weights. It's a little bit awkward, but we're lying down on our back. You want to be in a neutral pelvis. So again, we're not flattening the back against the floor. We're in a nice neutral pelvis. I've got 12 pounds in each hand. You could maybe do 20 in each hand. You could maybe do 5 in each hand. It's up to you to find the right weight for you. Starting position, lifting the weights up. My palms are facing forward. The movement is going to be coming down to the side, and I can only go so far as the floor, obviously, and then I'm going to press back up. And so when we coordinate the breath here, it's going to be an inhale down, exhale to engage, and then press back up. And we're going to do 2 sets of somewhere between 12 and 15 repetitions. We'll see how we go on here. So here we go. Inhale, exhale. So being on the ground, I can stay in a neutral pelvis. I can get still a nice upper body workout. I'm fully supported by the ground. I don't have the influence of gravity on my pelvic floor. So on days when I'm feeling symptomatic and not feeling like I want to feel my prolapse, then I just come down to the ground. But if you want to be upright, or if you want to lay on a stability ball, you could totally do that. You could also lay on a bench. So you pick what works for you. I'm kind of just giving you guides and showing you how to incorporate the breath. Now, even though I'm talking, but even though I'm doing that, I still am engaging my pelvic floor before I press up. There, you heard it more audible. But working out really is, we want to vary our movement. We want to move every day. We want to move in ways that supports our body, our mental health. And on a day when I'm feeling symptomatic, I don't feel like jumping or lifting really heavy. I feel like still moving, but I'm going to find a way that's a little bit more supportive of my body. I have no idea what number I'm at, but I'm going to stop here and I'm going to let the weights come down. If you see me doing kind of some weird things with my right side, I have I think it's a rotator cuff challenge. And so certain movements, my arm does funny things and I have to kind of move in awkward positions. So if you see that, that's why I'm doing that. So now we're going to superset that with some triceps. And I'm going to pick, let's see, I think I'm going to do 10 pounds, and my other 10 pound is upstairs. So I'm going to do 8 pounds then. So I have one. Do you want to be on the camera there, Mr. Ed? So now I've got my 8 pounds here, and I'm going to do some triceps. So again, I'm going to come down onto my side, have my weights here. If you want to have something underneath your head, you're more than welcome to. I'm okay without it here. Sometimes I do put things under my head, but I seem to feel okay today. Make sure that I find my neutral pelvis. Now my arms are starting straight up, but instead of my palms facing forward, my palms are facing in towards one another. And the movement here is only the elbows are moving. The shoulder stays still. And so we're working on the triceps at the back of the arms. We're going to inhale down, exhale to engage, and press back up. I like to work usually in the 12 to 15 rep zone. Some days I lift quite heavy and I'll be closer to about 8 to 10, but 12 to 15 seems to be kind of where that's usually my comfort zone. But comfort zones don't always serve you with regards to resistance training. We want to be able to push ourselves so that we are improving. If you don't try to push that boundary, your body will never improve. It'll always say, okay, well, I know how to do that already, so I'm good. But when we push the boundaries a little, that's when we have improvement. That's when the body says, okay, I got to get stronger in case she does that again. And our pelvic floor is the same. If we can't just do static Kegels all the time, we have to incorporate into movement. We want to incorporate into our weightlifting. We want to give our pelvic floor something to respond to, loads that are more challenging. So I've totally lost count, of course, but I'm starting to get to the point where this is a little trickier. My arms are a little more shaky, but that's what we want. We want to get to the point where we're reaching a level of fatigue, not so much that we're losing our form. I'm going to do one more, but where the last couple of reps are kind of hard. And then that's where the magic happens. All right, so there, one set of our back of our arms. Now we're going to do another set of the chest press. Then one more set of our triceps, and then we'll take a break. All right. Do you have any animals or supervisors when you're working out, checking your form? I am going to try not to talk too much and keep count on this one. This is 6, I think I'm at. Hi. So I actually think next time I do this exercise, won't be in this video, that I could go a little bit heavier here. I don't think I'm feeling tired, but I'm not reaching that kind of point of fatigue that would really allow me to get stronger per se. So I'm basically going to be stopping when I reach the number. I'm going to do 2 more. And bring those down. Now I'm going to grab my tricep one, rolling over, palms facing in, inhale down, exhale up. When you do supersets like this, so in the chest press, the triceps are working sort of as an accessory muscle. So they're getting a little bit of activity. And then when we do an exercise that pinpoints them and focuses just on the tricep, then it really sort of ups the ante and you can reach that point of fatigue a lot quicker. So again, even though you don't hear me exhaling per se, I am still adding that voluntary contraction of my pelvic floor just before I lift my weights. Whew, getting tough here. So I think I've got one more. Ew. That's kind of where you want to get to, where you have a little bit of a grunt or a groan at the end there and you're starting to almost lose your form. Okay, so go grab yourself a drink of water and we will come right back in for our next set of exercises. So we're back and we did chest and triceps in the first one, and we're going to do back and butt actually. Usually do back and biceps together, but it's a little bit more challenging to do a bicep exercise unless we had a resistance band with something to fix it to, which I'm not going to do today. So we're going to do a back exercise and then a butt exercise, and we'll superset those. So I'm going to grab one weight here. This is 15 pounds. This is a latissimus, a lat muscle exercise. You can hold your weight by holding on to the sides like I am, or you can hold it like this, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And the exercise that we're going to do is, the only thing moving is the shoulder this time. So the elbows and the wrists stay straight. And then the exercise is going to be lowering down and then exhaling as you come up. You can do this with bent knees, again, making sure you're in a nice neutral pelvis position, or you can extend your legs straight out. It's whatever you feel most comfortable with. Inhale down and exhale. Come up. You can come up to just straight in front of you, or you can come down a little bit lower here. That gets a little bit into the shoulders actually, but just mind your pressure and make sure that you're not getting to a point where you're gonna have to hold your breath. So inhale back, exhale. So even though we're doing, back, we've done some chest, because we're incorporating the pelvic floor into each one of these, one, we're getting our Kegels out of the way for the day in a much more functional way. But we're also turning these exercises into core exercises. So what happens when your pelvic floor engages, I don't know if you can see it through this tank top, but even just watch here. If I engage my pelvic floor, my abdomen also flattens. My transversus co-contracts. So even though this doesn't look like a standard core exercise, it is. Starting to feel a little shaky. Not wanting to lose my form completely, but wanting to make sure that I reach a point where I give my body something to respond to, something to build itself stronger for. I'm going to do 2 more. So now we're going to go into a bridge exercise, and I'm actually going to keep my dumbbell and I'm going to place it on top of my pelvis. You could also use a weighted sandbag. You could use a milk jug. You could put anything. You don't have to have anything either. You can just do your own body weight. But I wanted to add a little bit more resistance to my bridge. So you're familiar with the bridge exercise. We press up and then we come back down. This time, because I have a little bit of weight on my pelvis, it's just upping the intensity a bit. So your feet are pelvis width apart, shins are vertical, pelvis is neutral, making sure you're not tucked under. You can have something underneath your head if you like. Inhale to expand. And exhale. And press up. Inhale down. Exhale up. So after the challenge, well, during the challenge, the point was to return, kind of retrain the body to be anticipatory in the core, meaning we're training the pelvic floor, reminding it to contract before we lift or before we move. And some people need longer to work on that retraining process, so the exhale will stay just before the movement. If you're feeling more comfortable with it and you've built up your coordination and your endurance, you can exhale as you move, which is pretty much what I'm doing here. Or you can just exhale and forget about the voluntary pelvic floor activation and just allow your pelvic floor to respond as it needs to or as it wants to. So that would be when you're fully automated. Because if you're automated in one position, it doesn't mean you're automated in every single position. So some exercises for me as well, especially on symptomatic days, I still, no matter what, always add my voluntary pelvic floor contraction. So kind of pick where you're at. Everybody progresses at different times. And there's lots of influences on our symptoms and on our energy levels in a day. So sleep, stress, if you are having symptoms, kind of your mental, emotional state, maybe what you did for exercise before, all sorts of things. So always checking in and honoring what your body needs. I'm going to do 2 more. My glutes are definitely talking to me here. Okay, now I've got my arms straight up again, another version of the lat. It's funny how your core cues can change based on your body position. So when I'm in this exercise, I actually imagine like there's almost like a beam of light. This sounds kind of weird, but a beam of light shining down from my vulva, vagina, down to my feet. And every time I exhale to engage, it's like I'm drawing up that spotlight. I'm drawing that light back into my body. And then as I inhale, the spotlight turns back on. Okay, it's starting to get a little tougher here. I think I got one more. Lowering down, I'm going to come in back in and do another set of my bridges. Feet or pelvis width apart. And it may be hard to see in the video, but when I come back down, I actually don't come right back down and rest. I hover and stop just before I reach the floor, and then I press back up. And it kind of just, you're not giving yourself that break. It's a little bit harder to do. So you can try that, or you can come down and take a breath and then push back up. Always honoring what you need on any given day, on this day. So you don't need a ton of equipment. Your weights could be soup cans, milk cartons, milk jugs. I know I buy Epsom salts in a big plastic jug. That would make a great weight. You don't have to have a set of dumbbells around. But I do recommend having some sort of something to add a bit of resistance. Resistance training benefits us, especially as women, especially as if any of you are in perimenopause or approaching menopause. We want to make sure we're adding resistance so that we're building up our bones. I'm going to do two more here. Okay. So we are going to do one more quick set of 2 exercises. So grab yourself a drink and we will come back for our last set, and then we'll go into a quick stretch, and that will be the end of the workout. So we're back for the last segment, and we're going to be working on our shoulders and a little bit into the rotators. So this actually we're doing lying on our sides, but it's almost like lying on your back. Taking out gravity. And so first thing, this is a 5-pound weight. I'm going to bend my arm, and the only thing moving here again is my shoulder. Like it's my arm that's externally rotating. I'm not moving through the wrist and the elbow. So my knees are bent. You could have them staggered however you like. I usually like them stacked. Make sure that you're not in a flat back tucked position. Make sure you have that gentle curve in your low back. And the movement is we're working on the rotator cuff and the shoulder. It's not a huge range of motion. You're only going as high as you can without having to open your body to go higher. And the breath is exhale up and inhale down. And I definitely am probably going to get to maybe 8 on this one. It'll be interesting on the other side with my injured side, how many I can do. So I'm already reaching fatigue here. I think I can maybe do one more. And that was tough. Now on this one, actually I'm going to start with 5 just to see how I do. So your body's staying in the same position, except your arm is now going to be straight. And the movement is to lift up overhead and then come down. And so we're going to exhale up and inhale down. So we're working a little bit more on the lateral part of our deltoids, medial deltoid, middle one, shoulder muscle. And I'm cradling my head in my arm. You could also have something like a ball here, like a pillow. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Just make sure in this one, especially, that your head's supported. Getting to that point, I'm going to do 2 more. So that was actually the right weight, even though I have an 8 here. 5 was good enough. We're going to go back and do the second set here, and then we're going to switch over to the other side and do the same thing all on the other side. So a little bit less rest means a little bit harder, and chances are you're not going to be doing quite as many reps. I think I may even actually only get 5 reps here. There's 4. I can keep going, but probably just to 7. Yeah, and that's good. Okay. So 7 reps doesn't seem like a lot, and especially not with 5 pounds, but that's what my body could handle in that. And now going away, my body is going to repair the tiny little tears that are in the muscle from that work, from that effort. It reached a point of fatigue where it's almost like there's tiny little injuries to the muscle. And that's how our bodies get stronger. During our rest, after we're finished, when we sleep tonight, the foods that we eat, that all replenishes and helps heal those tiny micro tears and adds a little bit more. It builds it up just a bit stronger so that if I go and do this again, I most likely could do 8 or 9 repetitions. So my body's made a few gains there. Okay, coming down to the side. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more here. All right, now I'm going to switch over and do the same thing on the other side. So finding my neutral pelvis. Yeah, I probably am not going to do too many on this side. It's not beyond painful, but it's uncomfortable. You don't want to push through pain. Discomfort is one thing, but pain is a sign that you should stop. So that's all I'm going to do there. And actually, I think I may be able to do this. Yeah. Sometimes you'll notice I close my eyes. I also sometimes look in a mirror. You can watch yourself and watch your form. But sometimes I like to close my eyes and just see. It kind of brings your attention to what you're doing without other distraction. And can make you aware, sometimes even more so than seeing. You can feel where your compensations are. You can do 2 more. And now I'm going to come back down into my rotator. Got one more here. Whew, that is tough. Okay, last set here. Got 3 or 4 more. Was almost invaded by my son there. It's my last one. Okay, that is done. We're going to take one more quick break and we're going to come in and do a quick little stretch and then we'll be done. So we're going to go ahead and stretch the groups of muscles that we just worked. So we had some chest. So I'm just in a kneeling position here. You could be sitting on a chair. You could be standing if you like. I'm taking my arms behind me and I'm going to clasp my hands. So I'll just turn and show you, clasping my hands. And then I'm just going to lift my arms up as high as I can without thrusting my ribs forward. And hold that for around 30 seconds or so. Try to drop my shoulders away from my ears. You can even just do a little bit of neck movement as well. Not doing any core breathing here, just breathing and enjoying the stretch. And I'm just now going to change so that I had this finger on top. I'm just changing my clasp so the other finger's on top. Just because we usually tend to do things all in one way, all kind of favoring one side over another. So it's good to switch it up even if it feels a little bit awkward. It's a really good stretch to do multiple times a day. And now we want to get the backs of those arms. So you can take the arm up overhead and reach the palm of your hand kind of behind your neck. And then the other hand will reach up and grab that elbow and sort of draw it in. So this kind of gets into the shoulders and the tricep, but where you're going to be feeling most of the stretch is all along the backs of the arms, or the arma in this case, but we are going to do the other side. So take the arms down and switch. So that hand is going to come behind the head, grasp that shoulder, the elbow, and pull in towards your head. And we're going to let that come down. And now for our back, have a chair or you can grab your ball. And if you remember from the challenge, we did the thoracic stretch. You can do it up in a kneeling, like a tall kneeling on your knees with your toes tucked under. You can also sit back on your heels if you like for a little bit more support on your perineum and your pelvic floor. And you can just drop your head and making sure that you're not thrusting the ribs forward. It's not that that's a bad stretch per se, but to really improve shoulder mobility, we want to do these stretches with our ribs in line with the pelvis. To gain length in that position. You can keep your head neutral or you can let it drop down. And I'm going to add a little bit of rotation here as well. So I'm going to look under my right arm as I roll the ball to the left. And you probably can't see this, but I can feel my right arm shaking from those tricep exercises and the rotator cuff work that we did. And come on back to the center. And now I'm going to roll the ball to the right, and I'm going to look under my right armpit. This side's shaking too. And come on back to center. Now we're going to roll up, and you want to get our glutes and a little bit into our shoulders here. So coming back into a seated position, I'm going to take my arm across the chest, and you want to make sure that your shoulder stays depressed, stays away from the ears rather than hiking it up here. So drop that across the arm and use the other hand to push on the back of the hand. And you also want to make sure here that as you're pulling that arm, you're not turning. You want to keep your body, your torso still, and just pull that arm across. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So arm goes out straight. Pull that shoulder, draw that shoulder away from the ears, and then press across the body. And the last stretch that we're going to do is for our glutes. And then we'll end, as I pretty much end almost every workout routine, we'll end out in a supine butterfly. So you're going to come down on your back. Again, you can have something under your knees, your head if you like. And you're going to I'm crossing my right ankle over my left thigh. And this may be enough of a stretch into those glutes as you need or as you want. If you want a little bit more, you can reach through and grab the back of your left leg. And you can play around with where you feel more stretch if your leg is bent or straight. You could also clasp above if your knees allow for that. And you could even take your right elbow and press into that right thigh and push it away more. So you get a nice stretch in the glutes. And then we're going to switch over to the other side, crossing the left ankle over. And again, this may be where you need to stay. You can press that thigh away. And if you want a little bit more, you can bring that leg up, clasping onto the back, and then using that left elbow to press the thigh away. And see while you're in your stretches, if you can soften. So sometimes we're trying so hard to get into a stretch and to really feel something that we're actually quite tense. So once you're in the pose, see where you can soften. Where can you ease up a little bit? And then maybe that allows you to go a little bit deeper into the stretch as well. And now we're going to close out with a little supine butterfly, taking the soles of your feet together. Allow your knees to open out to the side. And again, remember to use props. So I feel fine here, but you may not, or on certain days, maybe I prefer to have a little bit of support under my legs that allows a little bit more relaxation to come into my muscles. So never be afraid of bolstering so that you can relax and find more ease in a pose. And I like to bring my arms out to the side as well, even a little bit up, kind of like snow angel arms almost. And just hang out here for as long as you like. Thanks for working out with me today.